people of Ghana, it's your Nigerian Get Pleasure bringing you political news in our channel, Ghanatube. Let's show you so many of the happenings in Ghana. Please switch.
Good afternoon, Senior.
Good afternoon, Minority Leader.
How old are you now?
Well, based on the extrapolation that was done to be able to get me my date of birth, it says I should be about 54 now.
So, based on your date of birth on page 1 of your CV, which states you were born October 17, 1971, you are 54 now.
I should be 54.
Very well. So you are 53 now.
Yes, Minority Leader.
Senior, in 2009, how old were you? 2009 February, how old were you?
Probably around 37.
So you would agree with me that you had not reached that prime age of 40. As they say, life begins at 40, correct?
Yeah, obviously.
Now, a lot of Ghanaian youth are watching you now. First, share with us useful public life lessons you learned between that age of 37 when you came into public life and now that you are 53 back again into mainstream public life. And for the avoidance of doubt, the public life phrase as I have used now means getting into the executive arm of government. So I'm defining my public life to mean the executive arm of government.
Well, thank you very much, Minority Leader. You are perfectly right. I mean, I want to believe that even when you yourself came to this house some 12, 13 years ago, you admit that I think I was then the majority whip. I was more aggressive than today over the period. Well, as you age, you learn from your mistakes, you learn from the mistakes of others, you read more widely, you experience so many other things. So you learn so much, and the tendency for you to think and review and probably even share with others before you act is much better when you are older than when you are younger. Also, let me also say that in 2009, I had just finished my first term, I started my second term, and frankly speaking, I had never worked with even any government sector. I mean, I was the type, when I completed school, never wanted to work for anybody. I wanted to work for myself. So the closest I did was to work in the private sector. And you know, in the private sector, the attitude, the way of doing things are completely different from the public sector, where in the public sector, age is matter, seniority matter, all those things matter, what have you and what have you. And the buck sometimes does not necessarily end with you. I mean, you could be the minister, but the buck may not necessarily end with you. Today, I have been in the system for long. I've learned, I mean, you will admit, I've been even in Pan-African Parliament alone. I've been there for over a decade, travel across the world, at the continent. You see so much. that makes you act differently from when you were much younger, that you didn't have the kind of experience that you have when you are in your 50s. So definitely there's a huge difference between my good self. I can tell myself that sometimes my children wonder and say, why are you tolerating this from this conference? I said, don't worry, the person is young. When he grows, he will understand. So yes, I've learned so much.
You were 37 when you entered into the executive arm of government.
Yes, however, not till that.
You had some issues with the civil service structure, and you are on record to have said that the chief directors cannot be trusted.
Obviously, that was then. It's part of what I'm saying.
No, I gave you the opportunity to do a general overview.
Yes.
To advise the youth so that they pick something from this. Now I'm delving into the specifics.
That's okay, sir.
Right. Some of the public utterances against the conduct of the chief directors, and you know, you have done a perfect explanation of your background, that you were coming from the private sector and you saw things differently, so it made you say certain things. Today, going back in there, confronted with similar attitude by the civil service, and bear in mind, no doubt, you are going to meet a bureaucracy of permanent government workers who can give you tough time. What would be your posture?
Well, Mr. Chair, I think since I sat here, I've consistently said that I'm joining a team. I want to believe that probably in 2009, I went in thinking that I was the king. Today, I believe that I'm only joining a team. And I've drummed it again and again since morning, that if I have to succeed, it is because this crop of expertise will have to come on board and let us work as a team. If we have to fail, we will fail together as a team. My attitude is completely different. I'm, by the grace of God and with all humility, as you know, now I even teach leadership in UPSA. I teach master class in leadership. Obviously, you cannot be an effective leader if you think you know it all, or you see people as this, it is you and me. But if you see leadership as playing parts of the relay to get us to finish a race, and making everybody feel belonging, and everybody's view matter, and everybody feels important, even the tortoise will want to speed up to get us finish the race. So that will be the attitude that I'll be going in there, that look, we have to do this together, and I respect your expertise. What do you say? I have to be more listening than doing all the talking. I don't have to act until I'm very sure that all of us, or at least majority of us in the team, believe that that is the best way to act. So it's no longer about me as an individual, it should be about us. I think that will be the attitude that I'll be going in there with. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Leader, you have used a word king, and you juxtapose it against your yesterday. Muntaka at 37 thought that leadership meant he being a king. Muntaka at 53 believes that leadership to him is being part of a team. In a recent interview with a Joy FM journalist, you had cause to critique the leadership of the Speaker of the 8th Parliament of Ghana. Do you still hold firm those views as contained in those criticisms of the 8th Parliament Speaker?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me clarify this. I did not criticize the Speaker. I criticized his style. And I believe that for a style, people have their varying views. I respect him. He's mentored me. We agree more, but we have areas where we disagree. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Honorable nominee, so I'll give you a bit of a background by way of laying foundation, then I will mount my question on it. Okay? You recall Donald Rumsfeld, a former Defense Secretary of the United States of America.
During George Bush Sr.
Very well. Some